Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Joelle, and today I want to help you get ready for the 2025 camping season by showing you everything you need to dive into the smoky world of smoking meats while RV camping. This will be a beginner's guide, so for those of you who are experts, a lot of this information may be repetitive, but nonetheless, it could still be useful. But before we jump in, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you can stay in the loop on future videos. So as we gear up for the 2025 camping season, let's explore how to upgrade your culinary game by introducing mouth-watering smoked meats. First, let's go over the pros and cons of smoking while camping. For the pros, you can have incredible flavors that will make your camping meals unforgettable. You'll also can have a fun, immersive cooking experience that connects you with nature by being outside. And you have the opportunity to impress your fellow campers with your culinary skills, which personally is my favorite aspect about smoking meat while camping. Now, as for the cons, there is time commitment. So you will be tied to your campsite for hours. Smoking is also weather dependent, so wind and rain can affect your smoking process. Smoking also creates potential fire hazards, so you need to take extra precautions that are necessary in drier areas. You can attract wildlife. The delicious smells will bring some furry critters. Now, let's talk about the essential gear you will need for smoking while you are camping. The link to all the products that I will mention will be in the description below in case you do want to check any of them out. So number one, you will of course need a smoker. Now I personally have a Traeger pellet smoker, which I love. It's very easy to use, easy to set the temperature, but you can choose between an electric, pellet, or charcoal smoker depending on what type of flavor profile you like your meats to have. So it is all personal preference at the end of the day. You will also need a Bluetooth meat thermometer. You don't necessarily need this. You can always go out and check your meat periodically, but anytime you open up your smoker, you are releasing some of the trapped heat in there that is helping cook your meat. So a Bluetooth meat thermometer is very, very helpful, as you can just simply easily connect it to your phone, and you can always make sure that you check the temperature of your meat while you're inside your trailer. Now you'll also need fuel depending on the type of smoker that you have. So either wood chips, pellets, or charcoal. You can get them in all different flavors depending on the type of meat that you are smoking and the flavor profile that you are trying to accomplish. Here is a chart of the type of flavored fuel sources that you can choose from and what type of meats they pair best with. Now you will also need heat-resistant gloves. I personally like to use these cotton gloves first to handle my meat and then putting nitrile gloves over them. If you are choosing to grab your meat directly out from your smoker with these gloves, you will feel some heat. So that's where I definitely recommend either using tongs or something a little bit more heat resistant than nitrile gloves and cotton. Now, a very important item that you will need to prevent any drips and spills are the drip trays and cups. So this is the drip cup that comes with my pellet smoker. There are these removable tin foil cups that you can also get. I would strongly recommend keeping extras at all times just because you never know how quickly your cup will fill up or how dirty it will get. But especially because you are living on the road and you will be transporting, it's always nice to throw away a dirty cup so it's not stored anywhere, and just simply to get a fresh, clean one. So I would definitely keep these handy, as well as the actual trays that will go inside of your smoker to catch any of the oil drips. These are very important and very helpful. Another thing that is handy to have while you are smoking on your camping adventure is a cleaning solution for your smoker. Now, in case you don't have a cleaning solution, you forgot your cleaning solution, I have been told that using half of a white onion and rubbing it on the grates of your warm smoker is a really great way to help clean off your smoker. As for cleanliness, I would definitely recommend using an actual cleaning solution designed for your smoker. Another thing to help with cleanup is a shop vac. So debris does build up in your smoker, so having a shop vac handy is probably the easiest way to clean out your smoker, especially if you have a bigger one than this. I have seen people at campsites that have much bigger smokers where I would only imagine a shop vac is incredibly helpful for. Now, most of you probably already have one, but you should also keep an extension cord. I am close to my trailer right now, which isn't the most ideal setting to fire up a smoker. Most commonly, I'm much further out. I also have my awning out. So this, in close proximity with an awning and a trailer, is not the best setting to fire up a smoker. I would definitely make sure that you have it far enough from anybody's rig, truck, whatever the case may be, anything that is flammable. Make sure to have your smoker far enough just to prevent any issue. Now you will also need a sturdy enough table. Now we all know that some of those tables at the campsites aren't the most reliable. So I would definitely recommend picking one up either at a hardware store. I got my table at Home Depot. Now another thing that you will need is a nice cutting board for when you are cutting your meat, when you take it off of your smoker, and just when you're serving food. Having a nice cutting board is very essential, and it is definitely worth it to spend a little bit more money on a nicer one. I have a handmade wood cutting board that I actually got at a Harvest Host location that I will tag in the description below in case you want to stay there. Another thing that you will need, depending on the item that you are smoking, is heavy-duty aluminum foil or butcher's paper. So heavy-duty aluminum foil is a little bit easier if you are a beginner, while butcher paper, you definitely have to be a lot more punctual with the time, and you also have to be good with wrapping it. I usually use butcher paper when I'm smoking a brisket. Just the type of texture that comes out of it is absolutely phenomenal, while when you are using heavy-duty aluminum foil, the moisture does stay trapped a lot better than obviously paper. So when I am smoking baby back ribs, I will use heavy-duty aluminum foil. Another nice tip is that with heavy-duty aluminum foil, you avoid your meat from drying out versus butcher paper. You have a little less wiggle room in there, so you definitely need to be a bit more of a pit master if you are going to use butcher paper. But at the same time, if that's something that you're interested, give it a try. It is not going to ruin anything by any means. Another thing that you are going to need is a cooler. So there are certain meats that when you finish smoking them, you want to try to contain all the juices inside that meat. A brisket is probably the best example. So it is nice to have a medium-sized cooler that you can take your meat from the smoker and directly put it inside the cooler to help trap the flavors, trap the temperature, and just let a nice meat sit there and rest. Now another thing that you are going to need would of course be any sort of marinade, barbecue sauce, seasoning, whatever it is, whatever your favorite is, make sure to have one. So I have here this beer bacon maple marinade and barbecue sauce from Elijah Extremes. It's a nice family-owned business by a son and a dad, and they make really good products, so cannot wait to try this beer bacon maple. The link to this product will be in the description below. It is very common to put a dry rub on your meat before smoking it and letting that dry rub sit there for at least 30 minutes. So you can find a dry rub any and everywhere. They're very easy to find, but I personally like to make my own. It's a blend of coconut sugar, kosher salt, black pepper, smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and parsley. So if you want to give it a try, just simply leave a comment below and I will give you that recipe. So last but not least, you will also need some tools for handling and marinating your meat. So I have this multi-tool from Traeger. It has a couple different tools in here that are very handy, but I would definitely recommend at least getting tongs and a spatula, depending on what you're making. So now that we got the essential gear out of the way, let's jump into some nice cooking tips when you are smoking your meat. So you want to make sure that you choose the right cut of meat. If you are a beginner, it is much easier to start off with either a pork shoulder or ribs. They're very hard to mess up in comparison to a brisket, for example, and they're not as expensive in comparison to a brisket. So the last thing that you would want to do is spend a bunch of money on a nice cut of meat and then you forget about it and it dries out. That is the last thing that you want to do. So make sure to experiment with a cheap, easy to get cut of meat. Of course, prep ahead. So like I did, I already have my seasoning in a jar so I don't have to make it when I get to my campsite. But You can always prep ahead by having your marinades, pre-seasoning your meats, whatever the case is. You can also buy pre-seasoned meat. It's very, very easy to find. So it's just nice just to come prepared. Make sure you already have everything with you so you don't have to run out to the store when you're camping. That's the last thing that you want to do, especially when you just want to smoke your meat. It is also very important to maintain the ideal temperature. Now, for myself, because of my pellet smoker, I can set the temperature very easily to where I really don't have to watch the temperature. Of course I do, because sometimes if you don't watch it, you will run out of pellets and your temperature will drop. It's happened a few times on me before. Make sure to always check how much fuel you have as well. Now, with certain cuts of meat, you will also want to make sure that you will have a water pan. So, for instance, a pork butt roast, it is nice to put it in a water pan just to prevent it from drying out. There are other meats that I will mention below that are very nice for having a water pan while you are smoking. And of course, plan your timing. So when I first started smoking, I was absolutely terrible at this, thinking I could start smoking a half hour before I wanted dinner to be ready. But that's just simply not the reality. Smoking is technically barbecue, and barbecuing is cooking meat over a low temperature for a long amount of time, while grilling, on the other hand, is cooking meat at a high temperature for a shorter amount of time. So barbecue, because it is a slow cook over a low temperature, you get a stronger flavor profile in there, versus grilling, you can achieve those strong grill marks if you want that instead. So as always, just remember, safety does come first. Always make sure to check local fire restrictions before you fire up your smoker. Keep a fire extinguisher nearby in case anything happens. Use a designated area to smoke your meat away from tents and vegetation. Never leave your smoker unattended, and always properly dispose of your ashes. So with that, smoking meat while camping in 2025 is all about achieving optimal flavors while enjoying the beautiful outdoors. With the right gear and techniques, you can create unforgettable meals that everyone will be drooling about. Just remember to plan your day accordingly, stay safe, and as always, have fun. Once again, make sure to check the description for all of the products that I mentioned in this video. And again, if you do want this seasoning recipe, just leave a comment below and I will give it to you. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and share it with anybody who you think might also benefit from this video. And of course, if you have any questions, if anything I said in this video is confusing, misleading, or simply wrong, please, please, please always leave a comment below so myself, along with other viewers, can learn more information. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.